Hello everyone, this is Vishal Darji from SolidWorks Design Hub. In today's video, we'll see in detail about the Sketch tab in Command Manager. We'll explore what are the different tools in the Sketch and how we can create a sketch of any 3D model. Okay, so let's start with the SolidWorks. I'll create a new part here. First of all, I'll change the scene plain white. You can keep it 3-point shaded as per your convenience. I'll keep it plain white. Very first step is here, you need to change the unit. Okay, with these are the units you have to select in what unit you want to work. Okay, generally we work in mmgs, millimeter, gram and second. Okay, so it is already selected. Now I'll select, next step is selection of plane. Okay, so here I'll select a front plane and here it pop outs the toolbar. Okay, this is called context toolbar here. So you can select here a sketch, you will directly enter into the sketch and you can check here also you are inside the sketch. This is called a confirmation corner. Okay, so if you want to exit, you can just simply click on OK here, or again select front plane, start sketching. Okay, now you can see here the sketch tab. This is called a command manager. We have seen this in detail in previous video. Okay, command manager and feature managers we have discussed. Now in command manager, there you can see many tabs are given. So in today's video I'll describe or I'll explain about this sketch tab. Okay, different tools are given there in sketch tabs, so let's explore one by one. So very first here is sketch. We are already inside this sketch, so it is already activated. Smart dimension, it will help you to give a dimension for to any entity. Okay, that we'll use later on. Now on front plane, I'll start sketching with line. First tool is line. Okay, so there are three types of line. One is simply a straight line you can draw. Okay, if you want to exit from this tool, you need to press escape once. Okay, if when you press escape, you will automatically come out of that tool. You if you want to switch to the another tool, you can simply press escape. Now this is the line. Okay, so with by using a line you can draw any sketch. Let's make it vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal. Okay, now here the use of the smart dimension comes. Smart dimension, I can give a smart dimension. Now here you can see your sketch is not completely in a black color. Okay, so your sketch is under defined or it is not defined, it's not fully defined. So what is missing there, you can see the sketch is movable. Okay, so you need to fix or you need to give a dimension from the origin. This is called a origin point. So you have to define the any one of the point of the rectangle with origin. Okay, so I'll give a smart dimension, or you can simply just select this corner, pressing Ctrl key and select the origin. Okay, you can make them both coincident. So now you can see your sketch is fully defined and you can proceed with the other features. Okay, so in features we have seen extruded boss. So extruded boss is nothing but converting a 2D sketch into a 3D object. So simply I'll give a thickness of 20 mm, so rectangle will become a solid block. Okay, 2D sketch will become a 3D object. So that we have seen, very first tool in the sketch tab is line. Now next is center line. Now if you want to make a center line, you need to first enter into the sketch. So right clicking on this plane, want to make this face normal to your screen, just simply press Ctrl 8. Okay, by pressing Ctrl 8, your selected face will become a normal to the screen. Right now click right clicking on this face and just select new sketch. Now in lines you can see a center line. Center line is nothing but you can draw a line from the midpoint of the you can draw a line from the midpoint of any entity or any edge. Okay. Third is midpoint line. Midpoint line means the line will start from one center point and it will go either side. Okay, so you can see here the line is starting from a midpoint and it is going both the side. This is how you can use a midpoint line. Now next tool is rectangle. Rectangle is just we have seen by using a line we have drawn one rectangle. You can directly draw a rectangle. There are 5 types of rectangle. One is corner rectangle. You can start sketching from one of its corner like this. Okay, you can later on give a smart dimension. Center rectangle is nothing but rectangle will start from a center point. Whichever point you select, it will take it as a center of that rectangle. Okay, next is 3 point. You need to select a 3 point. Okay, so let's say this is first point, this is second point, and this is third point. Okay, so this is how you can create a rectangle. Other options are not widely used. You can practice on your own. Now next is slot. For slot I'll just remove these sketches. Okay, make a center line. Now in slot, first is straight slot. Okay, so just select one point and draw a slot. Slots are generally used in machine parts or for any assemblies which you need to do a fastening or by fitting it by nut and bolt. Okay, so generally slots are used there. Now giving a smart dimension, there are two entities, one is circle and other is the straight line. So circular you can give 2.5 mm radius, and see you need to give here a length to this slot. Okay, so when I select this line, you see the distance is from center to center of the circle. Okay, the slots are having two circles. Okay, so it will take a distance of CTC, that means center to center distance. But if you want to give a distance from the extreme points, okay, the extreme point of this arc to the extreme point of this arc, means outer dimension, if you want to give, what you will do, just simply delete this, again select smart dimension. Now you need to press shift key. Pressing a shift key, select this arc, don't release the key, simply pressing it, select the other arc. Okay, now you can give here a dimension, just going outside of the rectangle, so just do it 20. So this is how you can give a dimension to the extreme points to the sketch, to the slot, sorry. Okay, so slots you can make by extruded cut. Here you can see here slot is created. Okay, so slots are generally used for fastening the two parts. Okay, using nut and bolt. Next is center point slot. Okay, you need to go again into the sketch, center point slot. Now you have one center. Let's say, let me draw one center line here. Now you have one center point and you need to draw across that center point a slot. So it will start from a center and it will go either side, up and down equally or left and right equally. Same dimension I will give 2.5 and length I will give. By pressing a shift key, select both the arcs, you can give a extreme dimensions 20 mm. Okay, it is not defined because your center line is not constrained, it is moving, so you have to constrain that by giving one dimension from one of a reference edge. you can give 10 mm. So now your sketch is completely defined and you can perform a features extruded boss, extruded cut or extruded boss. Okay, now other tool is sketch in detail. You can see the 3-point arc slot circular sketch you can make by selecting a plane, selecting a face, pressing Ctrl 8 to do a normal. Now I'll select a 3-point arc. I'll simply show here, will not go in detail much. Okay, you can do a circular cut like this, circular slotted cut like this. Okay, that you can practice. Next is circle. Now if you want to draw a circle, there are two types. One is circle with a center point and other is perimeter circle. So generally we draw a circle with a center point and giving a dimension, like giving a radius to it. Okay, so it's not defined because it is not constrained, it is movable. So you need to constrain by giving a dimension from one of the edge. Okay, so this is simple. Next is center point arc. Now if you have one center, let's say we'll draw here, let me delete the circle. If you want to draw arc, okay, this is you there you have a center point, sorry, there you have a center point, you have a one point here and you are having other point here. So this way you can draw a circular arc. Other type is tangent arc. You have a 2 point and you want to make a tangential arc, you can draw. For that you need to have already a one entity. So let's say tangent arc. So I'll select one of the point, I'll select any other point and you can see here it is going tangent. So by default it is creating a tangential arc to that line. Next is 3-point arc. You are having a 3 point, first point, second point and third point. You can select anywhere, you get a arc like this. So this was all about arc. Next is polygon. Polygon of any sides you can draw. Polygon starts from 3 sides. Okay, triangle is a very first initial polygon. So from 3 sides to n number of sides you can draw any polygon. I'll draw hexagon here with the 6 sides. Okay, so hexagon you can draw here. We have seen in our previous video about the 3D modeling of hexagonal nut. Okay, you can refer that video, how to draw hexagonal nut. We have discussed in detail in there. Okay, and some threading features, how to give a thread to the nut bolts, we have discussed there. So I'll give here a dimension of 10 mm. It is not constrained because I have not given a dimension here. 5, let's say 6.3 mm, and from vertical edge let's say 20 mm, let's say 20 mm. So this is constrained sketch. Next is spline. Spline is freehand tool. You can draw like this any path. Okay, generally spline is used to tracing any boundary. Okay, spline path like this. So what you will do, you just go on making the spline on the slot. See, this is how splines are being used. This is how we can use the spline. You can draw a see, this is your spline. Okay, you can just convert the edge of the slot into the sketch by using a spline, or any intricate or complex shape you can convert that already created 3D model into the 2D sketch using a spline. Okay. Next is a style spline, that also you can use by shifting these points, okay, as per your requirement. These are not generally used, we used it in a very advanced modeling. Okay, for basic modeling splines are not advisable. Okay, splines we are not using. Ellipse are, if you want to make oval like structure, you can use ellipse. Okay, smart dimension, you can give extreme points, you can give a dimension to the extreme points. Okay, and it's not defined because it's not constrained. I'll make it constrained here by giving a dimension. Okay, it's not constrained yet. See, it is rotating because both the points here, see, pressing control key you need to select both the points and make them horizontal. Now it is constrained, now it is not movable, it can't rotate now. Okay, so this is how you can make a ellipse. Next is a plane, insert plane, that is that we are not discussing today, we'll discuss in further videos, to insert a new plane. Okay, how to insert a new plane. Okay, next is the text. Now if you want to add text here, let me delete the previously made features. Now here you want to add a text. I'll type a text, solidworks design hub. Okay, just edit it, make a smaller size, 2.5 mm. Okay, now if you want to shift, you can shift anywhere by dragging it. It looks like, if you want to make it like it is coming out of the face. Okay, so what you will do, you will go into feature, you will go to extruded boss base, and you can see here it is coming out of that face, but will not go up to 20 mm, will select 1 mm only, or 0.5 mm only. Okay, because embossed names are not thicker than more than 1 mm. Okay, it's not much thicker, generally it is 0.5 or 1 mm only. Okay, so you can see here it is coming out of the face, and if you make it embossed inside, or it is engraved inside, you can select extruded cut, it will go inside, it will cut the material here. So it is going inside now, you can see here. So this is how you can make your brand name or logo by adding a text. Okay, you can add your brand name by adding a text on any 3D object. Next is point, you can draw a points, you can place a point in your geometry wherever it is required. Now next tool is trim tool. I'll simply delete the feature. I'm drawing certain lines here. Okay, some lines I have drawn. Now you want to trim some unwanted line, so let's select trim entities. There are various options. Power trim is nothing but you can drag and just simply keep dragging it, you can delete the, or you can trim the unwanted lines. Okay, and if you want to trim other way, if you want to trim it other way, you can select trim to closest, so it will trim just close to the where it terminates, okay, where it intersect the other line. So you can select the closest terminal and it will get trimmed. Okay, see, it will trim only this segment. So this was a trim entity. And extend entity, if you want to extend some entity, for example, I have drawn one line here and it is up to the halfway. If you want to extend it from here to here, so what you will do, you will select extend entity, you will select this entity, it will extend up to the intersection where it gets hit to the another entity, it will extend up to that entity. So these two are very useful tools. Now convert entity is another tool which is very useful. Let's say I have made one hole here on this rectangular block. Okay, let's say I have made one hole of 10 mm. Okay, let's constrain it 7.5 mm. Extruded cut through all, it will cut through the material. Now you don't want this through hole, okay, you want just this hole up to a half a distance of this block. So let's say this block is off, you can select this edge, you can see here the length 20 mm, but if you want the hole is up to 10 mm only, so what you will do, you will select the bottom face, start sketching. Now again what you will do, you will fill the material here. So if you want to fill the material, you will select a convert entity. You no need to draw a circle again and perform extruded boss. You just select this entity and click on ok, it will get converted. So converted entity is nothing but you can just retrace the sketch on the selected face. You can trace the sketch of any 3D feature on the selected face. So now I'll do extruded base boss. Now I'll do extruded boss base. I want 10 mm only, so I'll do 10 mm reverse direction. So 10 mm the material will get filled. Okay, so you can see I have filled the hole up to 10 mm. Now this hole is of 10 mm deep. If you want to convert the entire rectangle, what you will do, you will just go into sketch, control it normal. Now selecting convert entity, you just select this. Now whatever the 3D edges, whatever edges it is capturing, it will convert into the sketch. See, it is converting the rectangle. So this was all about convert entity. Next is offset entity. You have this rectangular face converted. Now if you want to offset it by 5 mm, so select offset entity 5 mm. Okay, you need to select the entities which you gonna offset it. So it is going outside, just reverse the direction, it is going inside. I have selected base geometry as a construction geometry. So whatever is your initial sketch you have selected first, it will get converted into a construction geometry, that is a dotted sketch. It will not the feature, if you perform any 3D feature here, extruded boss base or extruded cut, it will not consider as a entity. It is just a, you can see here, it is a dotted line. You can't perform any feature by using the construction line. Okay, so my rectangle has been offsetted by 5 mm from all these sides, so you can perform offset entity like this. Next is offset on a surface. Okay, now if you want to offset the same rectangle on this same face, okay, the rectangle, it will offset on the same face on the, let's say 10 mm. So it has got offset on the same face. Okay, this is generally used for a surface modeling. We'll see in detail in surface. Here the tab is not visible. In tabs you can activate surfaces. Okay, now next tools are very important and very useful tools. Okay, mirror entities, linear sketch pattern, and these are the some adjustment tools, move, copy, etc. So we'll see mirror entity first. These tools are not active right now because you are outside the sketch, you are not inside the sketch. So what you will do, just simply select this and edit sketch. Okay, so pressing Ctrl 8, make it normal. Now you are inside the sketch. Mirror entities, as name suggests, it is mirroring. So for mirroring you need to have one center line which will work as a mirror. Select mirror entities. If you want to mirror this hole on the other side of the line, okay, just select the entity and mirror about, it will get mirror about this center line. So on the other side, same mirrored feature you can see here, hole has been cutted down there. So we have got two holes there. Mirror entity is very useful tools when you work with the symmetric models where some features are on left hand side as well as on right hand side. You can use mirror entities very effectively. Next is linear sketch pattern. Linear sketch pattern is patterning the entities. So in x axis and in y axis you can giving the distance, and by giving a number of counts you can just make it pattern, make the pattern of these entities. So for an example, I'll select a 25 mm distance, two number of count, and selecting a entity. I'll select this one hole only. Let's make it 10 mm or 15 mm. Okay, so this hole has got pattern at a distance of 15 mm in x direction. If you want to same hole on y direction as well, you just make it 2 here, so it is going upside. If you want to make a down, you can just reverse the direction. Okay, in LHRH you can do, just make reverse, it will get left hand side, reverse, make it right hand side. Okay, the distance you want, let's say 12 mm, it is going outside, just for understanding make it 15. So it has got pattern in x direction as well as y direction. Okay, simply press OK. We have got circle pattern of the hole. Okay, linear pattern of the hole. Just escape it. You can see it is cutted down. Next is in sketch pattern only, there is another option, circular pattern. Now you don't want the pattern in x direction and y direction, you want a pattern in circular direction. What you will do, you will just make one PCD. It is called pitch circle diameter. This is called a pitch circle diameter of 25 mm. Okay, and make it construction geometry by selecting it. This is a context toolbar. This is a context toolbar. just make a construction geometry. You can see here this is a dotted line, so it will not act as a solid line. Okay, it will not get cut this hole. Okay, the circle is not will not cut it down by extruded cut. Now you want 4 hole on the rectangular block. Just make a one circle. You no need to make a 4 holes, make it 3 mm, 3.5 mm. Okay, so I have created one circle of 3.5 mm diameter. Now you want this circle to be pattern on this circle in circular manner. Okay, so just simply select a circular sketch pattern, select parameter, select this center point. Okay, and entities to pattern, select this pattern. So here I have kept 4, so it has got 4 circles. Now you want 6, you can just type 6, you will get a 6 circles there. Okay, simply press OK and you can perform extruded cut. It is already, we are already in extruded cut, so it will get cutted down like this. So circular patterns works like this. Okay, get into the sketch again. Next is move entity. Now if you want to move some entity, you don't want this hole here, you want to move it somewhere, so just select this circle and select the start point and end point, start point and end point. It is constrained, so it is not moving. You need to break the constraints. Okay, so let's say I have a hole of 5 mm here, 3 mm here, and if you want to move this entity, so select this entity. If you want to move this entity from this point to this point, your entity should be free, it should not be constrained. Okay, it should be movable, otherwise it will not move. Okay, you can move it anywhere as per your requirement. You can move it at the center. Okay, so one more hole will get here at the center. Okay, again get into the sketch, control it normal. Now if you want to copy the entity, just select the same entity or any entity you want to copy, select start point and end point, selecting a start point, and you can create a copy. Okay, you can copy a number of entities there. Copy entity, select entity, copy entity, you can select any. Okay, whether it is constrained or not, you can copy any entity. For moving entity, you need to break the constraints. Rotate entity, rotating entity I'll explain with the rectangle. Okay, let's say you are having a one rectangle. Let me delete this. Okay, let's say you are having a rectangle. Let's make it 10 by 10 by 5, 10 by 5. Now if you want to rotate it, what you will do, select rotate entity, select this rectangle, center of rotation. So center of rotation, I will select a center point. If you want to rotate it by 45 degree, okay, positive 45, it will rotate anti-clockwise. Okay, it will rotate anti-clockwise. And if you want to rotate it clockwise, just type minus 45, it will get rotated minus 45. If you want 60 degree, you can select, you can type minus 60. So this is how you can rotate the entities. Next is scale entity. If you want to scale it, you can scale by giving a scale factor. Okay, if you want to make it 1.5 times, you can type 1.5. if you want to make it twice, you can, sorry, here I have selected only one line, you need to select all the lines. If you want to make it twice, you can select 2. Okay, select a center point. See, the rectangle has got scaled. Okay, if you want to make it half, just select 0.5. if you want to make it half, actually it is not, the point is not defined, so it's not taking. You need to define this sketch here. The sketch is not defined, so it is not taking properly. So select, if you want to make it half, select center point, you can make a half. Okay, see, it is not constrained and defined, that's why it is it changes its shape. Okay, when your sketch is completely defined, it will not change the I have it will not change the shape. Okay, see, here it is shifting because your lines are not parallel. We have mentioned here lines are not parallel. Selecting these both lines, pressing a control key and make them parallel. Okay, still it is not constrained because see, it is rotating. Now next here is scale, sorry, stretch. Okay, stretch entity, you, if you want to stretch this arm, what you will do, you will select these three arms and get it stretch like this. Okay, you can stretch as you want. Okay, if you want to stretch these three lines, just select stretch and from the base point you can stretch it. Okay, this is the use of stretch tool. Now this is display relation. These relations are nothing but, you can see here the green colored icons, green colored symbols. Okay, these are the relations. See, horizontal, this is horizontal, it turns blue. Okay, horizontal again, see, this is horizontal. Okay, so it is showing a relations of these entities among themselves. Okay, you can trace here, if anything goes wrong it will show you the error here. Now repair sketch is very important in large geometries or in any complex sketch. Somebody can't find if there is a gap in his sketch. Okay, let's say I'll make one triangle, this, and in my sketch I forgot to make it coincident. Okay, so what will happen, now it is not visible, we don't know whether it is coincidenting or not. Okay, so how to find whether there is a gap exist or not in my sketch? So we'll perform a repair sketch here. Okay, so it will clearly show here you are having a gap between these two lines. Okay, so you need to fix it. So simply just select both the points and make it coincident here. Okay, press escape and see, it is showing here one of one. The one of one error, it means we were having only a one error, that we have fixed it. 2 points gap, it is also describing 2 points gap. Okay, so quick snapping is snapping of point. Okay, center point, point, midpoint, etc. You can simply snap it. That is not very useful actually. The SolidWorks directly can snap the midpoint. See here, it can directly snap. Okay, no need to select snap tool. Okay, so this was all about the sketch tab. We have, I hope we have discussed everything in detail, and each and every tool in the sketch tab here. Okay, if you have any doubt you can just simply comment in comment section. Channel, do like, follow and subscribe my channel. Stay tuned for further videos of SolidWorks tutorial. Thank you for watching this video.